Good evening, guys.
Good
All
evening.
right, sorry, I got late. So you guys should give me a call if I get late. I was like stuck in somewhere and just lost track of time. So with that said, like any question that we have from yesterday's session?
Not really, but we didn't get that YouTube session yesterday. Remember, I was
Oh,
telling you I was having internet issues, but whatever I understood, I understood. So I guess if you can review.
okay. Amadu, you. What about you?
I'm okay for now. Yeah, I don't have
Mm,
any major question. We can move forward.
I mean, basically, like what we went over was is the one second. Is that like a requirement gathering sessions, right? Like schedule your requirement kickoff meetings, right? That was all we covered, right?
Right, right. So that was
Yeah.
yes, that was the main thing we spoke on.
It was a kickoff meeting,
Mm-hmm.
sending meeting invites to stakeholders and stuff. Prepare
Oh,
your
okay. Like
kickoff meeting and what you will say on your kickoff meeting and how you will run your kickoff meetings. I think
oh, okay.
basically
So
that's
that
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that email body,
Yes.
agendas, when, where, info, time, location,
Yeah.
invitee list, and a preparation for the meeting, right? So I guess I didn't miss much then.
Okay, all right. So then one by one, if you guys just like go over what we did yesterday, so I will understand that you understood it.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first so you could
Sure.
correct me how long? Okay. So yesterday we went over requirement gathering session. The first thing we do is schedule your requirement kickoff meeting. You know, in an email of invite, subject will be requirement kickoff, project number, project name, email body, agenda, when and where, info, time, location. Emails of all invitees, and then the second is preparation for first meeting. You know, a PPT based on what you know so far, like you create like possible slides would be the title, project number, project background, same like the first thing, problems, opportunity statements, what is your current statement, what will your future statement will be, and scribe who can take notes of the meeting, if you get someone, and you can ask QA or other BAs to help in taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a question. The recording capability, like you can record the meeting. That's what you're saying, right? And we could go over it afterwards.
So yeah, I mean, there are three options when you are conducting any meeting. Either you
Okay.
will take notes when you are basically doing the meeting. Second
Okay.
thing is like you have somebody who can take notes, and then third thing is you would be basically uh ask some record it. Okay.
Okay. So that would have been no issues for the stakeholders, right? Why the meeting is be recorded. There will be no issues to nobody if the meeting
Right.
is being recorded.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay.
So, you choose your own poison, mean that, if you have somebody who can basically take notes, but
Mm-hmm.
if there is a capability in your like meeting, and sometime, whatever the meeting software you use, you need to request that capability. It doesn't come automatically. And if there is so check when you are requesting, that you can get. So usually, like every organization have a help desk or helpline, IT helpline. Okay.
Okay.
And you also kind of when you are setting up your computer and anything happen, so they you would have that number where you can call somebody and they can basically help you figure out. And similarly,
Okay.
like, if when you need basically to uh, get uh, a meeting set up, okay, then you can ask that capability of recording.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
but if you have a recording capability, then you just like record the meeting and then you know
Okay. All right.
you review it later because it's just for your help. Because usually when you are uh, doing that multitasking, is not everybody's kind of cup of tea. Like
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
cannot do the
Yep.
multitasking in when I am having a meeting and jot down notes and then back and forth. Yeah, I can certainly do that, but for that I have to basically give my full attention. Okay,
Yeah, you're right.
and
Yep.
that's and certainly, like, I have to take pauses and all that stuff. So, but I don't want to lose focus. If I am meeting, like, one or two person, then it's something different. But if I'm meeting like 1 to 10 people, then I just want to get things engaged. So by as being meeting conductor and all, I also want to make sure that everybody is participating. I want to make sure that there is a not few people who are speaking more, and the other people are kind of not getting enough time to speak on
Okay.
like on a requirement and all that. So as being meeting coordinator, I have to take care of all those. So it's better that I will ask question, I will have my questions ready, and I will ask a question, counter question, and I will note down the points and which I'm going to ask, and note down the points when somebody is explaining that what will be your counter question. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I got down, you know.
Okay. All right. So then, Amadou, what about you? Okay, all right. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry, I was talking on mute.
okay. Yeah, that's okay. So that is a classic example. It happens, like, when you are basically, like, and it's gonna happen even you just have to sometime basically, like, if somebody is not speaking, just say, hey, are you talking on
Yeah,
mute? So that would be
yeah.
okay. All
So,
right, go ahead.
yesterday we talked about requirement gathering session. So for requirement gathering session, we need to schedule a kickoff meeting. So for that kickoff meeting, we draft an email of invite. The subject of the email can be requirement kickoff for project. Like you put the project name and the project number in your subject.
Mm-hmm,
And then for the email body, you go with salutation, agenda of the meeting, when and where, and the timing. So for my timing, I put like 45 minutes for the meeting timing.
mm-hmm,
Then I would then send the invite. Then after that I will do preparation for after the requirement gathering session and stuff. I will do preparation for my first meeting. So for my first meeting, I will get my PowerPoint based on what I know so far, like all the requirement I've had before. Example, I'll
mm-hmm,
have some slides with the title of the project number, the project background, the problems and the opportunity statement, the current state of the project, the future state of the project.
mm-hmm,
Then I can ask if I cannot take notes and listen at the same time. I may ask either other BAs to take note for me while I listen to the stakeholders, just so I'm more focused on what they have to say, just so I don't have diverted mind. So yeah, basically that is what we did. And then after that, we can then schedule our second meeting. The second meeting can consist to present all the requirement that we've gathered so far. So yeah,
okay.
basically, yeah.
All right. So usually, like, how much time it takes to get the requirement? Like, how you calculate that time? That or estimate basically, like, how many meetings you probably need to finish your basically, you know, requirement
Um,
sessions.
requirement sessions, I think from what I'm seeing, we can go for three three meetings so far, depending on the timing of the first meeting. So if we go for like 45 minutes for the first requirement gathering, and then maybe we may not be done, and then we need to go through all the requirement gathering again just to make sure you get everything right. That could be the second meeting. And then the third meeting can be the presentation of everything you've had so far. So I think three meetings.
Okay. And what do you think, like Vishal?
Come again,
For
please.
the like I'm sorry. What was the question again? I know what she said, but can
So
you
how
repeat the
many
question again?
meetings you think would take to get like requirement done?
Like the for the whole projects or like in the first meeting?
I think
Yeah, whole project I'm asking about, like, just how you basically like a real question is how you basically evaluate that for whole project, how many meeting it will take to get basically like, requirements done. Because you have
Oh
to,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I missed that part yesterday, but the way I mean, I could take a guess. Uh, it doesn't have like it could be more than three meetings, right?
yeah, I
Because
mean,
you the meetings could be like meetings could be continuously till you're not satisfied if that's the requirements,
right.
or like if
That,
there's anything
right,
you're
right. But
missing on your side.
so question is basically like, you guys are ignoring one main fact that we have basically studied, that you don't have unlimited time. And this statement is not true, that until like, the satisfied, then you keep on having the requirement. I mean, what if they cannot get satisfied like for
I know, yeah.
50 meetings,
Then it
so
no,
has to be done in the first week.
no, you
no.
guys are just guessing and not using even your like, a knowledge or brain. So there is a what is your mark to finish your job? What you follow a
Okay,
project plan. Okay.
Yeah,
what I've
project
and
plan.
understood
Yeah.
is
and
you
when we have a project plan, you have a timeline. You know when your is deadline. Okay. And based on that deadline, you basically like, schedule that, you set up the tune that, you can put this question that, okay, all right. So based on that, first or in setting second meeting, you would know that how much are the requirement and how many meetings it would be to do the requirement. In first meeting, say you what documented. In second meeting, how many you documented. Based on that, and based on like, that data, you would be able to like estimate that how many more meetings you need. And you have to distribute those meetings to your next like kind of available time. So you again, just like a project have a starting time and ending time, you are working on the same timeline. You have a timeline. If the timeline for you is 4 weeks, you have to finish in 4 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
For
Okay.
that, you have to do like, daily meetings or every other meeting. It's up to you. You are the responsible to plan that. Okay.
Okay.
For the requirement gathering, planning and execution, you are responsible for that. So you gonna plan that, how many meetings probably you need. And that will you will not know on day like the first meeting, and maybe not in the second meeting. But like, with one or two or three meeting, you will get the idea that, how many requirements you have got so far and what is left over. Okay. And sometime you can just put that question to that, hey, based on that, these are the requirements that we have gathered, so how many more meetings that we need at the end of like third meeting, put that question. And based on that, let's like I want to schedule every other day or every day, because if you have a 4 weeks deadline, you want to finish it into 2.5 weeks. Your
Yeah.
target becomes to finish it 2.5 weeks. Okay. And then becomes like, how big is the project? Certainly when they are estimating, or the project manager is planning and estimating, they estimate based on the judicious guess from the the leadership, BA leadership. So BA leader, whoever is giving the estimates, they put kind of their experience with that organization and with those projects in basically in their mind, and then they've like put out the estimates. So they always estimate more than what they think it will get finished. Okay. So you already have like estimate that they your basically BA manager thinks that work would be done by, and the BA manager also, he's a technical person, he is like just like you like a senior BA, and have been a BA for bunch of years, so experienced guy. Okay. So he knows what how much would be, and doesn't mean that his guess would be 100% accurate. Okay.
Mhm.
But mostly it would be kind of judicious guess. There will be like plus minus thing. It can in a something that their guess can be wrong, there can be more time. Okay. But then you will like bring it up with the project manager as a hey, this is what I discovered, and this, and based on this I feel like we probably need more time to finish the requirements.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you can't just keep going because you have a timeline too. So it needs
Exactly.
to be, yeah, so it needs to be
Exactly.
done
So this is
as soon
very
as possible.
exactly. So again,
Okay.
my question was simply, first thing is that like, as a BA, when there is a tricky question asked to you, verify your understanding. Okay. You just like take a pause. Okay. All right. So this is what I understood, that, are you asking me this? Okay. So verify your understanding and then answer. If you are not
Okay.
100% clear about the question, don't jump to answer the question right away. Yeah, if there
Okay.
are like questions that are very like kind of a common sense question, you can answer like just right away. But wherever you feel like it's a kind of a tricky situation, and wherever
Hmm.
you are not 100% sure about your answer, then take a quick pause and get the verification question out there to the interviewer. Okay. So my
Okay.
question to you guys was like so what I was asking, that what would be your mark to for your requirement session, that how many requirement session you will need it, how you will know that how many requirement session you will need it. So the main thing was like I was asking my expecting the answer that hey, it based on like the project, and
Yeah.
then it's based on like what timeline I have.
Yeah. Project
If
timeline.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah, right. So I have to follow the project timeline. So I would get a deadline, and then based on that deadline, I will plan my session accordingly. And certainly, I will not know 100% on the first, second session. By third session, I will have some idea and guess that how frequently I need to get sessions, and to get the work done.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
that would be the answer. That's what I was like looking. So sometime if you are not 100% sure about the answer, just like ask the verification question, that is it this what you was asking? And one more
Okay.
tricky thing, and this is very important for the interview. And sometime they have asked you some question that in the whole question there was only 2 3 words you understood. Rest you have no idea what they're asking.
Okay.
Okay. So that 2 3 words are I mean that and words mean, I mean terminology, that that if they are asking about the requirement or something, okay, so that you are familiar with that, so based on that you ask a counter question. Are you asking me like this?
Oh, okay.
Right. When you will ask the counter question, basically two, three words, no, you're in your mind, you are basically like already cooking up the story to basically answer that question. And most probably they are gonna go say like, yes, that, yeah, go ahead, explain that. And but if they will not, then they will reiterate the question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that is basically like a kind of an interview, trick that sometimes you do not have exact answer to what they are looking. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
you have something like in there that you are kind of familiar with and can speak few sentences on it. So then you will basically like whatever you are familiar with, go with that, and you know
Oh, okay.
explain that.
All
Okay,
right.
make sense?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then Brilliant, you have any question?
No, I'm fine. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Then explain what you understood like yesterday, as a BA, how you will do your requirement gathering.
Okay, as a BA, my requirement gathering session, I'll start by scheduling a requirement kickoff meeting. So in the during that meeting, I'm going to draft an email of invite, and I'm going to put a subject. So the subject is going to require the project number and the project name. I'll have the email body, the salutation and the agenda, when and where the meeting is going to hold, what time and the location. I'm going to have I'm going to have the list of invitees to send them the email. And the second part after the requirement gathering is I'm going to do a preparation for the first meeting. I'll do a PowerPoint based on what I know so far about the project, and I'm going to and for doing that PowerPoint slides, it's going to have like the possible slides like the title, the project number, the project name, and the background of the project, the problem and opportunity statements, the current state of and future state of the project. And also during that meeting, if I'm not able to like take down notes in order for me not to divert my mind at the meeting, I'm going to beg other PAs to help me take down notes so I don't get my mind diverted from the meeting. So that's what I understood.